So recently, in 2010, in the movie Hesher, you play a rather central role and another strong, sweet part as the grandmother of this young boy, where this young guy, a wild, unruly punk, moves in and takes over everything, and but he develops a strong affinity for your character. And the movie was rough and emotional. And I would like to ask you, at the age of 80, and you're so vital still, how can you still do all these demanding performances? That's quite amazing.
I didn't think it was so hard. I didn't think it was demanding. It was fun. She was a sweet lady who didn't see anything bad happening around her. And this weird stranger walks in and with long, dirty hair and walking around in his underwear. And they go, oh, you know, have a seat. You know, are you hungry? She was so accepting. She was right on the edge of some sort of senility.
Mm-hmm. And
but accepting, I like that.
Yeah. And you actually did a lot for Alzheimer's people, didn't you? You were talking a lot about that at one point, I remember, because you did this movie called The Road to Galveston, where you played this very Alzheimer.
That was a really terrific experience for me. There was a woman in Texas who changed her life by taking in half a dozen women who had no other place to go, who had dementia of some sort. And somebody wrote a screenplay about her. And so many weeks before we did that, I traveled there and spent some time there. You know, spent whole days in the place. And there was one character, the one that my character was written about, Wanda, who was incredible. She was quite elderly. And she had her own language. And she knew what she was saying, what she meant, but the words were all twisted around and had nothing to do with our reality. But she knew. Oh. And so I'd recorded a lot of what she said and had transcribed. And
you met her?
Oh yes, I hung out with her.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was such a true character.
And she said such interesting things. And that in the actual script, the writer would say, wouldn't have any lines for her. Just, Wanda is, what was the word he used? Not babbling, but something like mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
But no lines. And so I used a lot of what she actually said that I thought might be appropriate or effective in those moments, and the director let me do that.
So you actually wrote your own dialogue?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great experience.
I thought it would not be as effective if I were undisciplined and allowed take after take to just be all over the place. I thought I was missing an opportunity to say things that seemed right, but nobody would understand. I just thought it was better.
Wow, that's great. That's a great thing to know about this movie, actually. Wonderful thing. Is there a role that you have never done, you haven't done, that you would like to do? Or some role you never got to do that you really wanted to do? Because you've played so many different parts.
Well, I kept not doing Amanda in Glass Menagerie because, like Maureen Stapleton, who couldn't get the voice of Lorette Taylor out of her ears, out of her head, I couldn't get Maureen Stapleton out of my head, so I kept turning it down. Now I'm too old. So that's one I wish I could have done.
So you kept turning it down, actually?
Yeah.
You were offered that, yeah?
Yeah. Now I'm ready.
Now you're ready.
Now I'm ready. Yeah.
You look so great for 80. How is that possible? If that's an inevitable question.
I haven't had a facelift, no. My best friend asked me, I hadn't seen her in a year and a half. What a friend.
What a friend.
No, I don't drink anymore, and I eat good food, and
You have a positive attitude about life?
yeah.
And also about age?
And my father was very healthy and looked well for many, many years.
Yeah, great genes, must be. That's wonderful. It's good that you can still play all kinds of characters, actually, both old and much younger than you actually are. So it's absolutely wonderful. It's amazing that I got this opportunity to actually ask you some questions about your career and also talk about many of the wonderful performances that you've done. And there are so many things that, you know, I could talk about, and also personal stuff about your life, but everybody can read that in your autobiography.
Yes.
That is out now. Learning how to live out loud, to live out loud.
Learning to live out loud.
Out loud.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's from an Emile Zola quote. He said, "If you ask me what I came into the world to do, I will tell you. I came to live out loud."
And it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.